So how do you build a city, especially one as large as Jacksonville? Fortunately, we're not starting from scratch, but that also poses some challenges. Jacksonville is of course known for its beautiful beaches, but there's so many other areas. Where do you start? Where do you begin? Where do you activate first? Downtown. It's the heartbeat of every city. So in this episode, we're going to dive deeper into the rebuilding and development of Jacksonville to show how the city is becoming a thriving and sustainable city. Let's go check it out.
I'm Andy Allen, and we're building a city.
That's me, Justin Senna. I'm a TV producer. When I got to Jacksonville a little over a year ago, we hit the ground running. We started documenting the projects, the process, the progress, and the people that are making it happen. So let's go jump into some projects. We'll learn more along the way. Activating the city helps bring in businesses, vendors, visitors, residents, ultimately creating density.
This was actually a project here at Unity Plaza that was just too early. Jacksonville just wasn't ready for it. I believe it was 2012 or 2013, and frankly, there just wasn't enough density around the vicinity for it to be successful. It's a good example of real estate being about timing and the need for density. Unity Plaza did not work in 2013, and then the next building, Vista Brooklyn, hit a home run just a decade later.
Activation is the process of bringing in life and energy to a city by creating places that people want to live, work, and play. The ultimate goal of activation is to create enough density to achieve critical mass. Critical mass is the point where your city becomes self-sustaining and organically growing without relying on external factors or interventions.
One of the key proponents of urban planning is creating and designing spaces that help people move from one place to the other. We got to build for those things to bring people in, but then we need those people to be here to make those businesses successful and to make those spaces successful and to make our city successful. There's a lot to be said for density and economic development and economic growth. In addition to that, there's vibrancy that comes from density.
It involves identifying what the city needs and building in the existing areas through historic preservation, adaptive reuse, and infill development. Infill development means building on vacant or unused land within the city limits, filling in the gaps and creating a more compact and walkable urban environment.
When you and I actually first met, this was a gravel parking lot. 18 months later, we've got a Hilton Home to Suites. On this side of town, closer to this area with eateries and bars and walking distance to 5 Points. We got them here in 60 days. They loved it. They saw the vision and how Riverside Park is getting remodeled over the next 6 to 12 months from now. It's already funded by the city.
Adaptive reuse means converting old structures into new uses that fit the current needs and demand of the city. Historic preservation means protecting old buildings and landmarks that give the city character and history. So let's start with one of my favorite projects, contributing to critical mass and density and the downtown urban core. We're standing on it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is 1001 Kings Avenue. It's located in South Bank of downtown Jacksonville. This is a completed historic renovation adaptive reuse building, which now serves as the headquarters for a globally recognized furniture and design company called Industry West. If you're not familiar with Industry West, chances are you've seen them in some of your favorite establishments.
Now I brought Ann and Jordan over here and I said, listen, this building is in the design district and it is calling for you guys to call it your new HQ. Ann said, this is great, I love it. And Jordan said, no way.
I take full credit for this project at this point because Andy and I had to convince Jordan that this was going to be a good step for the business and for Jacksonville.
I started looking around at other commercial properties available because, to Ann's point, we really are out of space. There's nothing available for one, and certainly nothing that is this much character, this much potential to like blend the old with the new.
So the Industry West headquarters is an excellent example of a historic building that's been transformed into a stunning space, helping to put Jacksonville on the map with its architecture and design. The project not only received the Beautification Award from the San Marco Preservation Society, but it's also been featured in one of the world's most influential architecture and design magazines called Dezeen. To create this building, you need an architecture firm that can design up to Industry West standards and a construction company that can pull it off.
We went to tour this building with Andy and Jordan and Ann. The exterior has all these vertical, almost jail bar-like facade with these plants just kind of growing out haphazardly. And you get into the elevator from the exterior. We knew that we wanted to fill that in with storefront, make it more friendly and inviting as the pedestrians walked by.
When we first got to the building to actually walk the building, we noticed that there's lots of little tiny hallways and stairways. With the new Industry West program, we were moving towards a single tenant so that they could have a much more collaborative environment.
We came up with inspiration images and thought about a cool amphitheater that stepped up. They could have whole company-wide meetings. Creating that double height volume was really important to us. And then making it even more inviting, we wanted to cap it with a skylight. The other funny thing about this building is they were really into the private offices, but they had collaborative bathrooms. So you could have a bathroom buddy and go in there and do your business together. And that was how it was on every single floor.
One of the things we did early on as a collaborative process is we sat down with the city of Jacksonville. Lisa Shepard is an excellent resource. She knew the building well.
Initially wanted to do storefront all the way down to the floor in the front, but she wanted us to keep the knee wall because she felt like that little wall of brick at the bottom was key to the historic character of the building. So we ended up keeping that and it looks great.
For the Industry West building, a lot of the interior is new, and yet it's also old, right? The floor system structure is existing original floor, and we've added to it structurally, and then it's a new finish. It's a shell in many regards. The exterior, of course, was that same way, and we've only added a few things to it. The brick, we intentionally left alone as best we could. So one of the interesting things with the Industry West client is where we might naturally want to make everything look pretty and perfect. Their response was no, like let's keep the fabric of this old building and the character of it like it is. And that's nice because that really shows the respect of the structure, and it's a really great juxtaposition to their product and their furniture and their decor. They do a great job with that.
They tasked us with a space that wasn't necessarily the most cost-effective renovation that we could imagine. They said, inspire us. We want a West Coast tech vibe, and we want to be able to collaborate better together. As an architect, that's kind of the perfect thing that a client could say. They left it open-ended, and they inspired us to inspire them.
You know, there's no reason that the city doesn't deserve more businesses that put a flag in the ground and invest in things that may seem intangible. The first week we were in this building, I sat down at my desk upstairs and I was like, this is a badass place to work every day. Like I look out there and I'm like, we got to live up to our space. I think these historic projects, you just never know what's going to come up. So you got to be prepared for the surprises along the way. You guys tackled it, a lot of the stuff we never even heard about.
Man, listen, we didn't tackle much. We're good at partnering with the right group. That has a lot to do with Avant and also Boldline, and seeing the vision and actually adding a helping hand as well when they had ideas. And I think that there's a large level of quality and artistry that they brought to the table too.
When Industry West outgrew their previous space in San Marcos Square, they could have gone anywhere in the world, but they chose to call Jacksonville their home. They're not only contributing to activating downtown, but their previous office has since been reused by a new San Marco hotspot called Fourscore. And guess who did the interiors? Dude. Hey, what's up, dude?
Santa, where you at, brother?
Jones,
What are you doing?
headed to the roof.
I think your elevator's broken.
You're not gonna get up there. 20 bucks says you don't make it past the 3rd floor, dude.
Accept it. I'm already on the 3rd floor.
Got him!
Let it